8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of 49 Faithfully. We're your hosts, Miriah Lee and Teran Lewis. TL, what up, my guy? How you doing?
Hey, what up, Miriah? What up, fam, in the chat? I'm doing good. Seems like we haven't had a show for a while, but I'm like, no, we did one on Saturday. It wasn't too long ago, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's always some stuff that pops up with the 49er community that's interesting. So it's always something to talk about. So
Yep. What's up, chat? I guess, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of weird today, but here we are. So if I'm grumpy, hopefully I don't take it out on y'all. So you better be on your best behavior. What's up, Bryant? Good to see you. Tell Tony I say hey as well. Denise, what's good? Alberto, Melissa, what's up, sis? Sin, how you doing? Hope everybody is great. What is today?
today's
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah. Happy Wednesday. Yeah. I knew that we had just done a show a few days ago because as I was trying to do notes and get stuff together, I was like,
Hmm.
well, there's not, a couple of things have happened, but there's not too much to talk about. So I'm like, yeah, because I just had put a whole show together just a few days ago. So yeah, we have a few things to talk about. Once the chat gets a little bit bigger, we'll do some giveaways since we haven't done them in a couple weeks. It's harder to do giveaways when we have guests on the show,
Yeah,
so
for
we
sure.
figure that we just we'll stick to doing those when it's just me and TL. That way we're not, because the guests are on limited time and we don't like to have to keep pausing the time that they do have with us to find the numbers and do this and do that. So yeah, so we'll make it up and do some giveaways today. And yeah, um, what's up, Dave? I was just thinking about you earlier today. Hope you're doing well.
Glad to see their channel back up and running again. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
So
They
yeah,
had
good.
taken away off a little bit, a
A
little while
little
off.
hiatus, yeah, a little
Yep,
hiatus out, yeah, but they're back. I saw that Real Talk Niner Talk. Whoever
yep.
is not subscribed to them, go subscribe to those boys. It's a good channel. They have a lot. It's funny. Their channel's pretty cool because I feel like all four of them. I see there's five of them. They have like all their personalities are way different.
Yeah,
So they just feed off of each other, which is awesome. So I don't want to hear that, Dave. If you're in Vegas and you didn't hit us up, I don't want to hear it.
yeah. There's like we're like the border control. So once you cross the Vegas line, you're supposed to hit the DMs to let us know that you're crossing into Vegas.
Yeah, just be like, hey, I mean, I'm just giving you a hard time. But yeah, if anybody, I don't care who you are, you guys are in Vegas, just hit us up. I know sometimes people come for a quick trip or they're here with family or whatever. But yeah, I mean, even if we go meet up somewhere, have a drink real quick and just chop it up, and then that's it. I'll only hang out with you for an hour if I need to or whatever. But yeah, like my boy JV came into town a couple weeks ago. Me and him went to dinner, went to a steakhouse, played some blackjack together and stuff. It was cool. And then, wished him on his merry way. And yeah, so now we're friends for life, after meeting him in person. So
Yep. And 95% of the time, I won't answer your message anyway, so you won't have to worry about meeting up with me. So there you
yeah. And
go.
she ain't lying. That's all facts by Mariah. I'm her co-host and she barely hits me up, so don't feel bad.
I don't know. I just I don't know. Like I used to always just be on the phone, like texting, talking. Maybe it's just old age. I don't know what it is, but I
Yeah.
just feel bad about. I seriously, let me look right now live how many unread text messages I have.
What that I can't even tell. It's over 1,000 that looks. Oh wait, 3,000 text messages?
So there
That's
shows you
that's
live on
ridiculous.
live on air that we're not lying here.
Wow.
And before, to even have like that little bubble like with the number on any of my icons, it used to drive me nuts. Like I would hate it. So like I would clear like stuff just to get rid of that thing. And it
Yeah.
just got to the point where I'm just like, I don't even care, like whatever. So yeah.
So I see the missed call. I see the missed calls as well. Do you ever like check those? Because what if like there's an emergency, or do you just know like, okay, if it's an emergency, they'll call over and over again to get me? Like, how would you know? Or would they
Yeah,
call your wife?
yeah. If it's an emergency, they'll keep calling, or they'll call my wife. One of the
Oh,
two.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty known. Like the family knows, everybody knows that, to text my mom, my stepdad, everybody texts Z. Like they don't text me. Everybody texts my wife
Tell
because
Miriah
she'll
to pick up
answer.
the phone.
No, they just text her for whatever they need to talk to me about. Like they don't even bother calling or texting me at all
That's
because
funny.
they already learned.
That's hilarious.
What's up, Don? How you doing? Good to see you. Joel, what's up? Good to see you. So yeah, there's some few things out there in the 49ers world. We'll get into that. While we do that, those of you that are here, why don't we go ahead and get a giveaway going for you guys, since you guys are in the building. The rest, you snooze, you lose, buddies. So go ahead and get your numbers in the chat, 1 through 100. I'll tell you what we're going to give away in a second. Let me get this article pulled up here. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was, where are you? I saved so much shit in my phone that it's like crazy.
Oh, we saw. Trust us.
No, like screenshots and pictures. Like, oh, I'm gonna have, I see
Yeah.
something as I'm on Twitter scrolling or whatever. I'm like, oh, I need to talk about this in the show, so I'll just screenshot it or whatever. And then,
Yeah.
like that's my notes. So Louis Riddick is in the news. He was on the Rich Eisen show. And everybody wants to talk about the 49ers because that gives them views, that gives them, whatever. Nobody wants to hear people talk about, the Browns and, stuff like that. So always with the 49ers in their mouths, always with the quarterbacks in their mouths. So here we are. Let me start with this first part. So it had first started with him talking about, with the story talking about many expect the 49ers to be title contenders in 2023 despite some quarterback uncertainty. And we're going to talk about this, after this as well, where the 49ers rank in the NFL despite, our quarterback situation. But he was talking about how he don't think that we're going to be great. And he says, we don't quite know what Brock is going to look like coming off injury, heading into training camp, which we agree. And then he says, we don't quite know what's even going on with Trey Lance, which, okay, he ain't wrong there either, right? And then he says, I'll tell you what, I had someone tell me this recently. They believe that Sam Darnold is that match with Kyle Shanahan out there in San Francisco that could finally be the spot that totally makes him become a out of nowhere surprise of the year. It says, I had someone who I trust when it comes to quarterback play tell me that. I'm telling you, I said to him, I was like, what? And they're like, just trust me on this one. Riddick says, and there's nobody who's a bigger Trey Lance fan than me, he shared. There may be, but I'm a huge believer. I couldn't be more disappointed on how things have happened for him. So I'm inclined to go, look, he deserves the benefit of the doubt. He deserves another opportunity. He got hurt. We just don't know who he is. So, Riddick's sounding like, he's okay. He's a believer in Trey. He's, on the same side as where we are, where we don't really know what Trey is, but we think that he deserves the opportunities for us to find out, right? For the world to find out, for the coaches to find out, for everybody to find out.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he lost his job due to bad play. You know, he got hurt, unfortunately. Um, but, you know, this person, and, you know, he's saying all this, but of course, he won't say who this person is. But he says several times throughout the interview that it's somebody that he trusts a lot, and especially with quarterback specific, you know, stuff. So, and that they're saying, you know, that, yeah, you know, it hasn't worked for this guy, you know, it hasn't worked for Sam up until this point, but, you know, Kyle Shanahan could be the thing that unlocks, you know, that unlocks
Sam
him.
Darnold. Yeah.
But it's like, I keep coming back to this point, and it's like, okay, so Sam Darnold's played how many ever games? 50, whatever it is. And now, and we've all seen what he's done, right? So everybody wants to just forget all that because he's coming to the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, these coaches, these weapons, this playbook, this everything, yada, yada, yada. So we should forget all his past because he's going to be great because he's coming into this perfect situation, right? Yet, isn't Trey Lance going into that same situation? And yet, what? He's not supposed to be great though, right? Like, he's only had this little sample size, and yet he's coming into the same coaching staff, all these weapons that he hasn't got to play with yet. This playbook, this blah 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 blah. Everything that Sam Darnold's coming into that wants to erase his past. Yet the guy that only has this little thing that hasn't even been given a shot, we're not even going to give him the opportunity to have all those great things, right? Like, I don't understand how Sam Darnold can be great with those things, but Trey Lance can't be. And he can't even have the opportunity to even see if he can be. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, to start off the conversation, here's the reason why the 49ers are talked about so much. One, we're a great team. We're top 5 in the NFL. And when you have a controversy at the most important position on your team, you're going to be talked about on a regular basis. Because if we were the Houston Texans, if we were, I don't know, you know, the Jets, whoever, now they got it right. But I'm saying, if we're a bad team, we wouldn't be talked about as much. But because we're so good, been to 2 Super Bowl, few NFC championships, 3 NFC championships, 1 Super Bowl in the last 4 years, we're going to be talked about. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, the Niners this, Niner that. So, and you hit the nail on the head. You're absolutely right. Like, I was talking to somebody, and I was like, yeah, up to this point, people always talk about Trey Lance and his samples. Well, he hasn't shown us enough. Okay, well, damn, no, Sam Darnold has shown us enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So when he hasn't shown us enough, and I go, at this point, I feel like Trey's a better decision maker than Sam Darnold. And their argument is, well, how can you say that Sam Darnold isn't as good as a decision maker as Trey when Trey's only really played like 3 or 4 games? I go, exactly my point. So you guys can sit there and say Trey's a bust in 3 or 4 games. He doesn't have what it takes in 3 or 4 games of looking at what he does. But when you analyze and you say, oh, I think he's a better decision maker, he hasn't played enough. It's funny
Right.
that the 3 or 4 games that Trey's played, they only agree with certain points that fits their narrative. And that's what makes me sick sometimes about this fan base. Like, be straight across the board. If you want to say, I don't believe Trey has it, that's fine. That's your opinion. That's what you want to believe in, fine. But to sit there and say he's a bust, to say he can't get better, we've seen what he can do after this small of a sample size, you're lying to yourself. To me, it has to be more than just football, in my opinion. Lewis Reddick, whoever he says he trusts, who knows where that's coming from?
Yeah.
It can be the 5th receiver on the depth chart who can prefer Sam Darnold over Trey. But just because somebody on the team is saying it, and I really don't even believe the coaching staff anymore. I'm going to see what's going to tell me who won the job or who's playing week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's when I'm going to know who won the quarterback job.
Yeah.
I can't believe Kyle, because Kyle's trying to I feel like Kyle is trying to sit back and kind of hold back on some stuff. He's saying good things about all three quarterbacks
Yeah.
because he doesn't. I don't think he wants to hurt feelings. I think he just wants to go in there, everybody get a fair opportunity. This, and that. So and you and I already agreed to this. Whoever they start week one, we're going to ride for. Whether it's Sam Darnold, whether it's Trey Lance or Brock Purdy is healthy week one, so be it. I don't care
Yeah.
whoever they decide to put in. I think just when it comes down to it, is that if Brock Purdy can't go, because I really truly believe if he's 100%, I believe he's going to start. But if Trey Lance has to be the one who starts, all we're asking is give him a fair shot of the playbook and let him play quarterback. And I've said this plenty of times, I'm going to say it every time until it doesn't happen. Until Trey can show us that he can't throw from the pocket, then we're never going to know what kind of quarterback he is, period. So give him the same opportunity, same playbook, same play calling as a Sam Darnold, whatever. Let him throw from the pocket. And everybody says, well, Kyle doesn't trust Trey. He doesn't trust Trey. That's why he makes him run a lot. Well, that's saying something about Kyle if you don't trust a quarterback, but then you're naming him your starter. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't trust you. I don't trust you, bro. But I'm gonna start you because I feel I can do X, Y, and Z with you. Does that make any sense to anybody? Kyle's not gonna start somebody he doesn't trust. We all know that. How many people has he set on the bench because he doesn't trust? People, oh,
Hmm.
well, it's because of the capital. No, Kyle saw something in Trey Lance. He feels he believes he can master this offense. That's why you trade up to a top three to get you a quarterback of that caliber to see what he can do. My opinion, this is his personal opinion. I feel like even though he's probably not on a hot seat, I think Kyle kind of feels he is because he's getting so much backlash about how he can't find a quarterback, and now that he's found Brock Purdy, somebody who actually won 7-8 games in a row, he's comfortable with that, and he's just gonna put him in because he's tired of going to NFC championships and losing, and he want Kyle's hungry for a ring, so he's gonna play. So now I understand. Like people say, he don't have time to wait for Trey if Trey ain't ready. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Just the only thing is when Trey is playing, give him the same opportunities you give every other quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lewis Reddick, I don't buy any of that. I don't buy any positive stuff that comes out, any negative stuff comes out. It is what it is. I'm gonna see who's gonna be that quarterback week one at Pittsburgh.
Yep. Yeah. And I agree. Um, Real quick, let me say what's up to some people that have joined. We got Chrissy. What's up? Good to see you. Hope you're feeling okay. Let me get back up here. Where was I? Joey, what's up? Good to see you. Tanya, hey sis. What up? What up? Glad you could finally find the right time and make it here. I had to tell her 60 times before the show what time it starts so she can get here on time. Steve O Supremo, what up? JV, my guy, what's up? Um, Bryant says, I want to know how long should the NFL give every player before you call said player a bust or cut him? 1 game, 1 season, 4 years?
I
I
mean,
mean, I would say longer than 3 games. At least I would say a couple seasons, at least
yeah.
shit. Like if you're playing every game for 2, 3 seasons and you can see they're absolutely dog shit,
Hmm.
well, okay. But it all depends too what the situation is around them, what the teams around them. It's a rebuilding situation, like
Yeah.
is the quarterback look like okay, he looks like dog shit or he looks
Hmm.
promising, but the team around him is crappy, like there's
Yeah.
so many different things that come into it. But I mean, definitely not less than a freaking year, not 3 freaking games like Trey Lance. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And I've told everybody this before. Like, I don't like calling these players a bust because they've reach the highest that you can go. They're a
Yep.
professional, so I can't really now. I'll say they didn't live up to expectations, but I'm not going to call somebody a bust who has worked to where they're at, became a professional, has made more money than probably everybody on this chat and Mariah and myself has put together. That they're going to have generational wealth. So I don't really like the word bust,
Mhm.
but here's the thing: you look like somebody like an Alex Smith. coordinator after coordinator, and you can argue that his talent around him, other than Vernon Davis and Frank Gore, wasn't good for a long time. Then we finally started getting Crabtree, and then we started getting some weapons around him. Then, after his first few years when he was under the old regime with Mike Nolan, people were like, "Oh, he's a bust. He's a bust. He's a bust." Well, now, then when he got Jim Harbaugh and he started playing pretty well, then the bust talk started stop coming out of people's mouth. They're like, "Oh, he's pretty good. He's not a bust." So it's not really fair to me to call somebody a bust because, look at Geno Smith, for instance.
Mhm.
Yes, he hasn't lived up to expectation in the years he's been in the league, but the year he had last year, would you call him a bust? No, you wouldn't. So I don't like the word. I don't like using it because, like I said, because we didn't get to that potential. There's probably a bunch of us on here who played NFL. Played not NFL, played football. Sorry, played football. We didn't get to the NFL. Are we bust? Because we didn't make it as professionals? No, we're not. We just decided it didn't go our way. We did another career. So I just don't agree with that. But I agree with Miriah. 3 games, 3
Yeah.
complete games is not bust warranted. I'm sorry. Like, you cannot, in your right mind, like, you can say, I think he will be a bust, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Oh, he's a bust." I can see it in these 3 games. I can tell he's a. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. What's up, Tia? Good to see you.
Exactly. Look at Steve Supremo said. Call me Brown. They called him a bust because he was the first pick overall, but the man played 12 years.
Yeah.
The man played. Well, yeah, he didn't live up to expectations because he, first as a first overall pick, you expect that man to take your franchise to another level. He didn't do
Yeah.
that, but the man played 12 years and made
Yeah.
over $100 million. He ain't a
Mhm.
bust. He just didn't live up to what his pick was worth. That's all. Exactly, Collie.
Hey, Mike. What up? Good to see you. Collie, what's up? What up? What up? So yeah, we're in the middle of doing a giveaway. We're doing it for this Trey Lance rookie card.
Yeah.
So make sure you get your numbers in the chat, 1 through
Nice.
100.
And if you think he's a bust, don't even enter your number.
Yeah. Bust your ass on out of here. Bebopperoni, what up? Let me see. When did the numbers start?
I started.
This it started with Dawn's. She had number 49 at 16 after. So scroll up and check. It's only a few numbers that have been entered. So get your numbers in. What's up? How about them Niners? So yeah, let me finish what these knuckleheads had to say real quick. So he also was talking about, the reason he's not high on the 49ers is because like every team with Kyle Shanahan, is always hurt. And then the quarterback situation, obviously. So he says, they had talked a little bit about it, but he goes, okay, we're banking on Christian McCaffrey staying healthy for 17 games. Are we banking on running back Elijah Mitchell staying healthy for 17 games? Are we banking on George Kittle staying healthy for 17 games? This offensive line, are we banking on Trent Williams staying healthy for 17 games? The right side of their offensive line between Spencer Burford and Colton McKivitz, who are their right guard and right tackle now? Are we saying that these guys, they have one elite player on their offensive line? One, and he's not always healthy all the time. Deebo Samuel is not always healthy all the time. So although this team has a bunch of studs, this offense has a bunch of studs, there's a lot of questions there for me. And I'm just saying, relative to what Seattle is doing right now, I'm just saying, Seattle, to me, it looks like a team that made a huge jump last year. And with the firepower they added this offseason, I think Seattle is ready to really, really burst onto the scene.
And this is Louis Riddick and them again. Chap, the first number that was put in there was 49, so you can't use 49. And then Steve Wilson said he can't see the first number entered, so it's Don with 49, and let me see what the second number is. Don with 49, then Joey Arredondo has 1, and then after that it
was
goes
only like
from
15
Joel.
minutes ago.
Yeah,
There should be no reason you can't see it.
Yeah, and 49ers Chanel is 16. So those are the three numbers those are first three numbers put in there. So hopefully that helps. Um, you know what? I'm not even mad about that comment because at least he came with some contents. Like he gave reasons why he doesn't feel this team is going to be elite, which I can appreciate that. He said, you can't bank on this. I can argue we have. I mean, I know it's been a year. I can argue we have probably two studs on the offensive line because Aaron Banks showed that he can play. I'm sorry,
Yeah, that's what I
Aaron
thought
Banks.
too.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
Aaron
you forgot
Banks.
about Banks, Big
Yeah,
Daddy
like
Banks. Shit.
yeah, Aaron Banks. I mean, yeah, we have Trent Williams, but Aaron Banks showed he can play. So I'm gonna push back on that one. But yeah, I mean he's right. I mean, and we've always talked about this. We always get scared about Christian McCaffrey because he does have a track record of being hurt. We always talk about how we wish Kyle would use all his running backs that are
Mhm.
that are active on game day just to spell Christian McCaffrey on certain things. So and even he tried to do that with Elijah Mitchell, giving him what he was only getting like 5 to 8 carries, and he still got hurt.
Yeah,
So it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, next man up, put Jordan Mason in, put TD Penn, whoever the case may be. Colley's guy that he likes, LeBourne, he said he was going to be a stud. Like, who knows what's going to happen. So yeah, he has some good points, but the percentage of all that happening is more than likely. Like, you know what I mean? Like to say that, oh, Trent Williams might get hurt, Christian McCaffrey, and let's just say everyone does get hurt, but it's at different times. Trent Williams gets hurt for a game or two, but you still got Debo in and Christian McCaffrey and Ayuk and Kittle and all this other stuff. Or maybe Christian McCaffrey's hurt for a game or two, and then Jordan Mason, Elijah Mitchell come in and ball. So the fact that he's thinking everybody's going to be hurt at one time. I mean, this team does have a track record of injuries. I get it, but I still don't think I still think we'd overcome that adversity and still be okay. I'm still predicting the 13-4, 12-5 at worst record for this team. So, and the NFC this year is trash. Let's just be honest here. NFC is weak. I get it. Seattle does look good. I mean, their draft class last year was amazing.
yeah,
I think they had like 4 starters that came in as rookies. They're in their second year, and this draft class looks pretty good too. So I get it. Like they can do their thing. It's going to be us down for the division, but I still think 49ers have the talent to overcome any injuries that come on this team. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, Lewis Riddick, it's his opinion. I'm just glad that he actually came with some content and said some context and said 49ers, I don't feel they'll be good for X, Y, and Z. Instead of just saying, "Oh, I just don't like them. I just don't think the Niners are not going to be good." Like he came with some facts on that one, so I can't be mad.
yep. What's up, JDLR? Good to see you. I saw a couple people coming here. We got some Kansas City love in the house. What ups? We appreciate you. Even putting in number 15 for Mahomes. We'll take it.
He said NFC is soft as cotton. Yeah, it's not good this year. It's not.
Nope. What's up, David? Good to see you. Yeah, everybody that's just joining, go ahead and get your numbers in. We're doing a giveaway for this Trey Lance rookie card. Clear.
I like those cards. They're nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Betso, what's good, my brother? Let's see. I mean, sometimes you'll get a flag for making contact, but yeah, it's supposed to be a full contact sport.
Yeah.
Oh, Alberto said he already guessed 15.
Oh, 15 was taken already? Oh, okay.
So he might already win with Mahomes.
Yeah.
Collie says he thinks McKivitz might surprise us this season.
I hope so. I hope he's the Spencer Burford of this year, or even hopefully he's Aaron Banks of this year on that right tackle spot, and he just goes out there and he dominates. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not really too fully confident until I see it. But like I said, until last year, our offensive line, the way we groomed them, hasn't been a good track record.
Mm-hmm.
We've mentioned before, was it Laken Tomlinson, Alex Mack, Trent Williams, were all great offensive line pickups, but they were all either in free agency or a trade. We never drafted one and actually groomed him, but this year Aaron Banks looked good, Spencer Burford looked good, and Jake Brendel. So I had to give our offensive line coach some props because this was the first year he showed me something as a developer because I didn't like what I saw previously. And even the guy Weston Richburg we got from the Giants, free agent pickup. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
All our linemen have been through that who've been good. So until 2022. So yeah, I hope you're right. Hope you're right, Collie. I'm still in hopes that Spencer Burford gets moved to right tackle and that John Feliciano plays at right guard. Because you brought that article up when you and Gina were on the show, me and Gina on the show, and Feliciano said he didn't come here to sit on the bench, that he came here as a 17-game starter for a playoff team and wants a chance to compete. And I don't know anybody who's a competitor would be okay with starting 17 games and say, okay, I'm taking this role to be sitting on your bench. I just don't see
Mhm.
that. I
Yeah,
don't see that. Yeah.
to some Joe Schmo, like not
Yeah,
to some seasoned starter. Like he's not competing against Trent Williams or like
exactly.
he's competing against somebody that he probably might
Be
win
able to beat out.
win that
Exactly.
competition. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's up, Panama? Good to see you. What's up, Jesse?
Hey, Jesse.
So yeah, get your numbers in. We'll draw that winner in a minute.
Yeah, but Carly, I hope you're right, man. Hope Colton McKivitz comes out there and he does his thing, man. People been worrying about the right tackle position, all year, and then in the draft, people were upset because we didn't address it and all this other stuff. But look, I doubted this front office last year for the offensive tackle position, and they proved me wrong
Yeah.
as far as Spencer Burford. So until it doesn't work, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and they know something we don't, and they think either Burford can stay at right guard and McKivitz can play that right tackle spot, or like I said, my opinion is Spencer Burford go to right tackle, which is his natural spot, and then have John Feliciano play that right guard spot. But who knows?
Yeah. I was gonna say that too. Like we went into the beginning of last season. Remember, like we were so upset because we went into the draft thinking, "Oh, we need to get all these offensive guys. This guy, this guy, this guy." They didn't get any of them, right? Like
Hmm.
no center. We're like, "What are we gonna do?" Um, when we did our breakdowns of our roster, like who we were gonna keep, we were so stressed because we were like this O line, like it's in shambles. Like who are these guys? Like our quarterback's gonna be hurt within a game. Well, they still were, but wasn't
Yeah,
really the O line's fault. Um, but the 49ers had a plan, right? Like they came out and showed us that. I mean, it was kind of rough the first few games. Remember,
yeah,
we were upset because they were like switching in this guy for that guy, switching guys everywhere, and we're like,
yeah.
they can't like get any continuity down because you're pulling guys in and out everywhere. But
Exactly.
after a few, yeah, it's a new O line. They had to, get a few games working together, the same guys, and by the end of the season, they were looking pretty good.
Yeah,
Now going into this season, I feel like we're in the same situation. We're
yeah.
going into the draft. We're like, we need this guy, we need this guy, we need this guy. Well, the 49ers didn't think we needed any of those guys,
Yeah,
right? So,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think I say 80% of us were comfortable with the left side because neither you or I were saying that Aaron Banks was going to be a bust. Like some of these fools, oh, he didn't play, he's a bust. Like stop it. Like he needs to get in shape. He's taking reps. He's playing behind a great left guard and Lakin Tomlinson as it is. He's being groomed for him to take his spot. So we're cool with that left side. It was more about Brendel. Then we started backtracking. I was like, you know what? Well, think about it. If Trey's going to start and Jake Brendel's been taking the second team reps, they got that chemistry. So but there was more of like, man, who's right guard, who's right tackle? Because Mike McGlinchey was still hurt. We didn't know what was going on, but it ended up working out in our favor. And I feel the offensive line played very well. I mean, Aaron Banks, obviously, I want to say he was a Pro Bowl alternate because he played so well. But I think the most surprising person to me was Spencer Burford. He was a fourth round pick, and I was like, "Oh, there's no way he's gonna start. It's gonna be Daniel Brunskill because Kyle doesn't like playing rookies, but he
mhm.
stepped in and he did his thing." So, and I totally agree. And I don't know if Jesse's still on here, but Jesse and I talked in spaces. Me and him agree. We feel like right tackle is Spencer Burford's true position. You know what I mean? So, and I'm thinking maybe they played him at guard because you want to play your best five, on that line he was the best. He even though he couldn't beat out probably a Mike McGlinchey, but he played so well. They're like, we'll put him at guard. And then now I feel like him having that 17 games under his belt, playing the offensive line, knowing the NFL speed, the strength of these D linemen will better suit him to, if he moves, that he'll be fine. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
It is. Can't wait till we do our roster breakdown show this
Man.
year. I'm pulling up this giveaway picker right now. So while I do that, not 49ers related, but I had seen your shirt and I had seen you posted some pictures that you were there. Why don't you tell us the story about what you were doing there?
So yeah, I was invited to come to the American Ninja Warrior show. I haven't told too many people this, but I've been doing a little bit of acting here and there. Like, I went to an audition back in February. They liked my character, so American Ninja Warrior had me go in and do some things like a pay, like for like being in a paid audience, handing out signs, helping some of the Warriors do some stuff. So I'm gonna be on TV on some episodes and some I'm not. Season 15 starts. Says season 15 starts June 5th. So yeah, so if you want to see something, go ahead and I don't know which episodes I'm gonna be in yet. I just know I'm gonna be in that season and I'm gonna be in the start of season 16. I already know who the winner is of season 15, and I can't talk about it because it's in my contract. But then we also started season 16. So I'm gonna be in both of those seasons on TV. So yeah, be looking for your boy.
That's awesome.
American Ninja Warrior. Yep. So yeah, it's cool. So yep.
So now you guys see, got a celebrity here.
No, I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, yeah, that's correct, Sam. American Ninja Warriors. Yep,
All right.
it's pretty cool seeing it up close in person.
All right, everybody got your numbers
You guys
in?
stop it. You guys are, I'm doing extra work right now. So, but the good thing about this though is that I worked almost 20 hours on set, and it was $80 an hour.
Damn, nice.
Yeah, so that was nice.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's going to be on NBC starting June 5th.
This here. Let me take this off. All right. Let me leave the movie star comment up there. You guys can see. The only thing is that my internet gets really shitty when I do this. So.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right. Ready? This is for the Trey Lance rookie card. Good luck, everybody. 36.
Ooh.
36.
How about the Niners got 37? Let me keep it pushing here. Make sure we don't have any duplicates, and nobody hit 36 on the nose. How about the Niners is the winner at 37?
Congrats. How about them Niners?
Yeah.
Thanks, sis. This is fancy. How about them Niners?
If I do make it, to show business or whatever you want to call it, I'm still gonna be myself. I'm gonna still love y'all. I'm not gonna think I'm above you guys because I don't get out like that. So hopefully, if I do make a movie one day, I'll invite you guys to the movie premiere so we can all watch it together.
There you go. You heard it here. How about them Niners? If you're on Twitter, please DM me your address. If not, you can email me. I'll put my email here. There's my email in the chat, so you can email me your address there. Congrats.
Alberto said that show is dope on weed. That's hilarious. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool seeing the. I forgot what was it. It was cool seeing the seeing these people doing these, because they have a adult competition with male and female, and then they also have a teen version where you have to be at least 15 or older to get on there. And man, the upper body strength of these warriors are crazy. Like, I don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done some crazy obstacle courses when I was in the military, like, thinking about when I was 19, 20 years old, and maybe I can hang with that a little bit. But man, that was, I mean, just seeing it up close in person to see how long they hang on things with their upper body is a lot. So yeah.
Yeah. I bet. I love that.
Yeah. All right, Don. Talk to you later. Thank you for stopping by.
See you, Don. Take care. All right. So I see my internet going crazy. So let me close this for now.
JB said he'll see me on Fast and Furious 47.
Yeah. I don't even know what number they're freaking at now.
10.
I haven't
it's on
seen
10
it.
right now.
I haven't seen it since like the first 3 or something.
Really? So it's like the Tokyo Drift or whatever. It's on.
Yeah.
It's on 10. It's on 10 right now, and it comes out actually this Friday.
Dang, 10. Yeah, that's too much. Like, I lose interest if something keeps going fucking forever. Like seasons too. Like if it's a season that has like, like episodes that has like 60 seasons, like forget about it.
Yeah. So did you ever watch the Ozark, or was that too long for you? The season.
I never watched it.
Oh, okay. Tanya said if I make it, she'll be my security. That's hilarious.
There you go. She has some family that can be your security, I'm sure.
Most deaf. Yeah, I'll take them tongues as security because they can fight.
Yep. All right. So before we get into this ranking things, we'll go ahead and have you guys start getting entered into the next giveaway. How about we do, what should we do? Since I saw somebody bring him up earlier, let's do Drake Jackson.
Nice. Okay.
So we'll do this Drake Jackson, green, rookie card. Get your numbers in the chat, 1 through 100. They're saying Drake Jackson's put on some weight. So hopefully, I'm excited to see what he does this season. Good luck, everybody. Joey going with 100. 100.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I don't think y'all wanted to see that on camera. 100. No, okay. Yeah.
So, talking obviously with Louis Riddick saying, our team's going to be hurt. We're not going to be great. Our quarterback, yada, yada. And then I don't know who it was. Some NFL talking head said that our DBs are going to be ranked 22nd in the league this season.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting, considering we're finally getting a defensive coordinator that specializes in DBs. And yet you would think our DBs are going to get worse all of a sudden. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, I wanted to go through and see where, we think the 49ers, with all that, what we agree on. Obviously, yeah, our quarterback situation, we don't know what's going to happen, right? Like, at least we might have not thought Jimmy was the best, in years prior, but at least we knew, okay, who our quarterback was going into the season, and kind of could look at our season and think, okay, this is where we're going to shape up. This is what, as long as everybody stays healthy, of course. But this year, we have no freaking clue right now, like what's going to happen. Yeah, we can all sit there and argue, this person's better, that guy's better, this guy should win, this guy should get an opportunity, yada, yada. But like TL said a little while ago, we're not going to know nothing till they roll out there for freaking game one and who's, under center. So, and then obviously, yeah, we're high on Steve Wilks, but he's coming into a new scheme, a new situation, a new team. He's replacing a guy that had been on this team for a while, right? Like that had a guy that had, pretty much grown Fred Warner from a baby to what he is now, like somebody that meant something like a lot to this defense, so we ended the season with a number one defense. Is he going to be able to keep that up at number one defense? Like that's hard to do. And that's a lot to expect from somebody just walking into a job like that, so it's like, there's a lot of things. Wilks talked about that he wants the linebackers to be blitzing more. Okay, well now you're taking the best middle linebacker in the game and he's the best at what he does right now, right? We don't know if he's going to be the best at whatever Steve Wilks is going to have him do. Is that going to slow him up? Is he going to be having to stop and think and be doing this? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Like we're hoping, oh yeah, he's awesome. And the same with Greenlaw, right? Like we don't know. He might not be great at that. He might not be great at blitzing. We see it's a disaster. We don't know because we haven't seen him do that a lot. Wilks is coming in and yeah, he's keeping a lot of things similar, but he still is switching up things. So these first couple games, as always, the 49ers are going to have to get on track and get shit right, So it's like, with all that, being said, it's like, we know that the 49ers still have a hell of a team, from top to bottom, besides the quarterback situation. And we can still say, instead of us talking about, oh, well, this quarterback's better, this quarterback sucks, this quarterback, like it seems like you always have to have one side or the other. You can't just go into the situation liking all the quarterbacks, right? It's like, why can't we just go into it thinking like the 49ers are in a really good situation right now because whoever suits up and is under center come that first week against the Steelers, they earned that spot to get there. They competed hard to get there. So, and against other 2 first-round draft picks, 2 number 3 overall draft picks, we've seen what Brock Purdy came in to do. So whoever wins that competition, as long as it's done fairly and done right, and, we should be happy that the best person for the 49ers is going to be under center come, game time. So, like, I'm just so tired of everything having to be negative. Like, why it has to be, oh, well, Trey Lance does this better. Oh, Brock Purdy does this better. Oh, well, Trey Lance can make this throw. Brock Purdy can't make that throw, and it's just like every day the same shit, like same negative shit.
It's like clockwork.
Yeah, like this one or this one. You have to choose. Make your pick, and it's just like, why? Like I'm a 49ers fan. Like, yeah, I like Trey Lance. I want him to succeed, but I'm a 49ers fan. I want them to succeed over everything,
Exactly.
So I want Trey Lance to succeed whether it's with the 49ers or not. So, like if he's not the best guy for the job here, well, I wish the best for him wherever he ends up. And if he's our backup, great, because we have 2, 3 talented quarterbacks, so at the end of the day, that should all be that matters, I think.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, where do we think, the 49ers realistically rank up against, like who do we have? Number 1, number 2, let's go through in the NFL.
As far as teams wise?
Yeah. So would you have Kansas City number 1? Has Cincinnati, you think, taken that spot? Like,
are you talking about just overall or rankings on defense?
Overall.
I have us at number 4. I'm going to tell you who I got first. I got Kansas City number 1. I got Philly number 2. I got Cincinnati number 3. Then I have 49ers number 4. That's my rankings. That's where I have us. I have us as a 4th best team in the NFL if the season were to start today.
Okay, tell me again. KC,
Philly, Cincy, and then us. And then if you want a top 5, I got the Bills 5th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think, we could look at a lot of teams in the past and say, this team is a Super Bowl contender. This team is ranked in the top 5 in the NFL, and we don't even know who the hell their quarterback is.
Exactly. That's crazy. And
That
you notice
tells
my
you
other
how good
5.
the
Mhm.
49ers team is.
Yeah, you notice my other 4. All the other quarterbacks are Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how good we are. Yeah, I totally agree with you, JV. To answer your question about Steve Wilkes coaching from the booth, I'm okay with that. I mean, you get a good look depending on, if you're on the sidelines, obviously you get an excellent look too. But I feel like from the booth, you get to see everything that's happening over the top. You get to see the whole defense as a whole, because if you're on one side of the field, you kind of can't see the opposite side as much. You can't see if the defense is getting beat off the line of scrimmage, stuff like that. I mean, there's just stuff that you can see from up top that you can be like, okay, I see that, Drake Jackson is kind of slow off the snap or whatever the case may. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of see things differently. The dude that ranked us 24th is, to me, it's funny. It's just like, we ranked us 24th. Like, that's crazy. Like, our second, Steve Wilkes is known for putting secondaries together, you know, and what makes your secondary better is an effective pass rush. And people forget, other than people who don't who aren't 49er fans, always forget we got Javon Hargrave. He's gonna tremendously improve this defensive line. He's gonna go out there. He's a great interior pass rusher himself. And I'm not saying we're gonna be as good, but I do look at it as like the 2019 defense. Can Drake Jackson be similar to what D Ford was? Can he give us 8 to 10 sacks? He don't need to give us on 15, 16 sacks, because when DeForest Buckner was there in the middle, that's when Eric Armstead had his best year. He went out there and had 10 sacks. He had double-digit sacks when we had DeForest Buckner, Nick Bosa, and D Ford. I see it's going to be something similar, because right now, Javon Hargrave is a top 3 interior defensive lineman. So you pair him up with Armstead. With now, you got another year is going to be with Bosa. Now you got a year of Drake Jackson. Then we got Cleveland Farrell. Stuff like that. We're going to probably do some rotations on this line. And as good as your pass rush is going to improve your secondary. Jair Brown, I love this guy. To
Mhm.
me, he's Honey Badger 2.0. Not saying he's going to be as good. His game reminds me of him, because he can line up at free. He can line up at strong. He blitzes. You put him on the line of scrimmage. He's a great tackler for being an undersized safety. I feel like Tayshaun Gibson, he better bring his lunch every day. He better bring his lunch every single day, because Brown's going to be on his helmet for that starting job. And I
And
wouldn't
if
be
Brown
shocked.
does win and Gibson
He's
can sit behind and mentor
that's
both them,
that's great. That's
Brown
great.
and
Yeah.
Hufanga still, that's
Yeah,
great.
exactly. And I don't see Gibson holding on to this job all season. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. I just feel like Brown just has it. Like, he just, like I said, me and Collie talked about this. We both agree he has a similar game to Honey Badger, and we've been wanting a Honey Badger on this team for a long time. We've been talking about upgrading that safety spot and bringing him in. Now I feel like we finally found our guy, because he's excellent. I mean, other than him being undersized and not being the fastest safety, all his intangibles are there. His tackling, his IQ, his knack for the ball, stuff like that. He's all over the place. So I love that he's on our team. And then I'm probably in the minority with this, with Steve Wilkes changing his defense up to play a little bit more man to man. I like Ambry Thomas to make this team. I feel I just have a feeling that he's gonna compete for the outside spot, because I feel like, and like we mentioned this before, we look at Steve Wilkes. He's coming in with fresh eyes. He's coming in with, like, this is going to be my scheme. I want to put my hands, my mix on this scheme. This is what I want to do. So, I feel like everybody has written off Ambry Thomas, and maybe it's just a bias in me of being a Wolverines fan. But playing man is what he did at Michigan, playing to his strengths. So if he can go out there and do his thing, it's a good problem to have, because I feel like the only safe position right now, in my opinion, on this secondary is Charvarius Ward and Hufanga. Everything else is up for grabs. Nickel's up for grabs with Samuel Womack, Daryl Luter's on this team, Isaiah Oliver. Now you got Demo, who's on here. Yeah, you see, college brought him up too. Now you got Demo on this team, who stepped up and played last year. Ambry Thomas at benefit outside. So I feel like with this new scheme come in, it gives everybody a fresh start. I'd be like, this is what I need to do. And then so yeah, I don't agree. I mean we could start off slow first couple of games, start off slow because we're still getting this continuity going on and getting used to this scheme. But I really believe that we're going to end up being a top three defense again when it's all said and done. And I don't think our secondary being 20, saying that our secondary is going to be 24th in the league is absolute foolishness. That means you're not. Tell me you don't watch the Niners without telling me you watch the Niners, because what you just said was crazy to me.
Yeah. It's like, what? Like, they're expecting our whole team to get wiped out? Or, like, I don't understand how you expect that team that we have, not even knowing who's going to fill up, those, little spots that we have to fill up, just knowing what starters have returned, what, guys are back, how you think that team could possibly be 22nd.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
crazy. I don't
But
know.
you know
It's
what's
like
funny
these
though?
people just say what the
Yeah.
hell ever they want.
And Mariah, you're funny. Like you brought up the whole quarterback situation. It was funny when I saw that post on Twitter of that guy saying we're going to re-rank in the 20s. The whole 49ers community was on his helmet. You're delusional. This is that. And it's funny. We can come together for
Mm-hmm.
all positions except when it comes to quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep.
Collie says, other than the quarterback situation, why do you have Cincinnati ahead of us? I like our roster a bit better.
I just think Cincinnati, first of all, a better quarterback on the team, great weapons. I mean, I think I said this last year. I think they have the best trio of wide receivers in the NFL
Mm-hmm.
with Boyd, Higgins, and then Jamar Chase. That's an excellent receiving core. And then on top of that, you got Mixon that's coming in again. Joe Burrow has, they had a talk with him, and he said like he feels like the game has slowed down for him, and he feels like he's gonna be that much better. I love me some Joe Burrow. He's good. I just think as a whole, like our defense is better than theirs, and offensively, you can say we're up there too because obviously, I mean, we put up 30 points a game with Brock Purdy, but obviously, if everything clicks and we have a good starting quarterback, I truly believe that we can surpass them. But as of now, because of the unknown at quarterback, I have to put Cincinnati above us. That's why I said if the season were to start today, I like Cincinnati ahead of us. Now, by week one, it could change. But right now, I think Cincinnati is just a better team.
I'm getting this thing set up. Uh, the list I was looking at, they had Cincinnati number one.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. See, yeah, I still think you got to put the Chiefs, and this is my opinion. Everybody has their own thoughts of what they look at the roster breakdowns. As far as I think Cincinnati has earned the right to be the number one team. I mean, sorry, Kansas City has earned the right to be the number one
Yeah,
team. They just came off a Super
I
Bowl.
agree.
I feel like they've gotten better. You know what I mean? So I look at it as like, yeah, I think they're going to be it. And then Philly has, I mean, on paper, this is right now just on paper, they look excellent. They look excellent on paper, and then you still got Jalen Hurts has coming back, and he was great last year. And I feel like he's gonna get better. Like I said, Cincinnati with Joe Burrow. I think just with us, we're just a little bit below those teams. But like I said, if whoever it is, whether it's Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, if they can grasp this offense and give us the similar production that we had last year, because it's all about too how we start the season. I hate that we start off slow every single year,
Yeah.
and even the year
Yep.
we started off 8-0, we started off 8-0. Our offense wasn't really doing that great. It was
Mm-hmm.
our defense that was carrying us. And then the offense started clicking a little bit later. So I think if we can start the season off, start averaging at least 27 to 35 points per game to start the season, I think we're good because this defense not going to be allowing that many points in my eyes. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's only May. That's my rankings right now. In September, it could be different. So
There you have it. All right, we're drawing for this Drake Jackson card right now. Good luck, everybody. And then those that are still here, we're going to do another giveaway quickly. We're going to have you guys enter your numbers quickly after this, and we'll draw it quickly before we get out of here. 45.
all right, let's go back up here. So Joey was first. What was it? 45. Let me see. Woke Niner recaps has 44. Let me see what else we got.
Ooh.
Ooh. 45. Make sure I don't miss anybody here. Yep, looks like we have a winner right here. Woke Niner recaps with 44.
Congrats, Mike. Mike Ing. I put woke Mike Ing. Congrats. Yeah, 45, so 44 is the closest.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and get your numbers in. We'll do one more giveaway before we get on out of here.
Final
How about we
giveaway.
do some Frank Gore giveaway.
All right.
Living
Starts off
Legend,
with
Frank Gore.
Living Legend. And chat, the giveaway starts
Good
with
luck,
Christy
everybody.
Marie at 10 after with the number 17. So that's the first number that was put down.
Hey, Christy. I saw you got your cards. Glad they made it safely. So yeah, everybody get your numbers in. Another thing that I saw that going around in the news cycle this week was CMC saying that the trade to the 49ers has been the best thing to ever happen to him.
Yeah.
And, you know, for him to say that, and you think like a skilled player like that, and yeah, you know, it's a team that's competing, but it's also, he's getting traded to a team that has uncertainty at quarterback. You know, a lot of these guys wouldn't want to be traded to that kind of situation, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like his team just drafted, right? His old team just drafted a quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
It looks like, you know, they might be in a better quarterback situation, you know, on paper right now than the 49ers. Who knows, you know? And it's like, you know, with wide receivers, you know, like these big names say like Odell, right? He didn't want to go to a team that has uncertainty at the quarterback situation, right? Like,
yeah.
He's not going to go to a team that has, it could be Joe Schmo throwing you the ball, because his production is going to be down if it's some shitty quarterback, right? Like,
yes, exactly.
And so for CMC to, you know, even though like he came into, you know, a weird situation, he came into a team that had Garoppolo under center, you know, the old quarterback that had taken over for the hurt starter that was replacing him. And then all of a sudden this third string guy came in and started winning, you know. So like he's never even played with Trey Lance, you know. He got to see Jimmy for a little bit, and all he knows in the 49ers uniform after that is Brock Purdy, you know, and yet he's still, this is the best thing to ever happen to me. Like, you know, so that says a lot, you know, about how whatever all these talking heads want to say, they could say whatever they want. But at the end of the day, you know, when the players are asked, when things come out, you know, from the players, like, it seems, you know, 9 out of 10 times, it's nothing but praise is being said about how the 49ers organizations ran from top to bottom, you know, the way that everybody gets along, you know, the way that Kyle and John run the organization to include every, you know, the coaches, the performance staff, the whoever, you know, like everybody's included in everything that they do. And it's like such like a family atmosphere. And as a fan, you can really appreciate that, especially when you look at other places like the Giants and everything that they've gone through, you know, and teams like that, the Browns, and, you know, such dumpster fire organizations. And it just makes you grateful to be a part of one like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I think the thing with Christian McCaffrey, everybody always knows with Kyle Shanahan, him being like one of the best play callers in the NFL. He puts Christian McCaffrey in positions for him to succeed and utilize his skill set. Like he uses CMC in the slot, uses him in the backfield. He uses them all over the place. And I think that's what CMC likes. He likes being that gadget guy. And Kyle is smart enough to put him against other other defenses to use him as a mismatch. If you got a linebacker that is going to be covering CMC, you put CMC out on the slot all day because that linebacker is going to get the business. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I like the fact, but you're right. The fact that we don't, we have an influx, flux on quarterbacks, and people don't even know who's going to be starting in week one, says something about this roster and probably the camaraderie of the team and just stuff like that. It just seems like it's just a good atmosphere, you know.
Yep. JV said best thing that ever happened to us too. I agree.
Absolutely,
Like I still man, I still can't believe when that text hit the notification I had seen, like that we traded for him. I was like, man, I was so excited. Like this shit doesn't happen to the 49ers. Like
I know. Well, it was funny too because as much as I wanted him on this team, it's funny. Initially, I wanted to draft him. And everybody kept telling me oh, he's not worth a third overall pick. I go, why? I go, he does everything. And people are like, oh, he's a running back and blah blah blah. And then we end up getting Solomon Thomas, and the rest. But anyway, so yeah, yeah. So I just wanted him. I want him on this team. But yeah, it's the simple fact that he's here. It is awesome. And as much as I wanted him to trade for him, I didn't think we were going to get him because I didn't think we had the draft capital. I thought they were like, oh, they're going to want this, that, and the other. And then when we traded what we traded, I'm like, man, we got him for a steal. So to get him for a second, a third, and then what is the second next year, I think, or whatever it is, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think we stole him from Carolina. Yep, I think we stole him from Carolina.
And everything you hear about the situation on the Carolina side, all the players, the coaches, Wilkes talked about it, like they were all so bummed when they lost CMC. Like they lost their heart and soul of their freaking football team, in a trade. And like we, for once, we're on the receiving end of that trade. Like
exactly.
So it's great.
I bet you Kyle was thinking, like, man, I should have just drafted this guy in the first place. He was thinking that.
Sin says, my son told me about it. He said, we got CMC. I know. Like, if you weren't like, and I remember, there are still people even about that shows you like this fan base can be crazy at times. Like, oh, did they give up too much? Oh, he's going to be this. Oh, he's going to be that. And it's just like, he's my God, like, let it work itself out. Can we at least let him play a few games? Let him get the 49ers uniform on first before you're wishing him ill will, yeah. All right, let's start the winner for this Frank Gore card. Another guy that they said wouldn't be shit. He was going to be a bust. He busted those knees and kept on running. All right, good luck, everybody. 82, the best year that there is.
I would go 79.
Dang, you old.
Yeah, I am. I like fine wine though. Let me see. I started. I think it was Christy at 17. She said, "Dang, you old." Be 44 this year, so yeah, getting up there.
John V entering 76.
There it goes. Yeah. Oh.
Christy
got Tanya with 75. Let me see if there's anything else. Let me see. You said 76, right? Or was it
82?
Was it 82? Okay, 82. Mm-hmm. 75 I see is the closest so far from what I see.
Tia has 80.
Oh, Tia has 80. Okay. Going back, Christy.
I think that's it.
I think so too, but I just want to make sure so I don't skip nobody. See, Christy was first with 17, then it was 15.
She always comes in and swipes everything from you.
Like at the last minute, huh? 81.
She's like swiper, no swiping.
On Dora.
Tia, no swiping.
Yep, that looks like it was Tia.
Congrats, Tia. Tia.
All right,
The
Collie.
Explorer.
You'll be 45 this year in November, huh? Are you a Scorpio or are you a Sagittarius, Collie?
Sagittarius is the best.
Debatable.
Congrats, everybody. Chat, we appreciate you guys for being here, as always.
Everybody's around the same age on this chat, it seems like.
Yep.
You're a Scorpio. You're a Scorpio too, Collie? That's why you my guy, man. Yeah. I think the last thing, I mean, unless you have it on your list, I don't know if you talked about this. I sent it to you. What do you think about um George Kittle inviting Trey Lance to tight end you this year to throw him and Josh Allen again?
I forgot. Yeah, I like it. Obviously, we know he supposedly got invited last year and then came out with scheduling conflict or whatever for the reason he couldn't show up. But yeah, I think it's awesome that he'll be spending time with Josh Allen, pick his brain, whatever tidbits anything he could possibly get from him. Whether that's, do this while you're competing or, this or whatever, anything that he can take from the guy is great.
Yeah.
Any throwing reps of any kind that he can get is great. Him building chemistry with George Kittle is great. Like something that doesn't seem like has happened up until this point. So
yeah. And it's pretty awesome too. And it's pretty awesome too that, he already was doing his working out with Patrick Mahomes, and now he gets to do this tight end with Josh Allen. You can argue two of the top three quarterbacks in the league right now. For him to be able to pick his brain from both of them is awesome. And I feel like he's kind of in the same predicament as a Josh Allen. Coming from a smaller school, people were like, oh, he didn't play against nobody, all this other stuff. So I think this will be great for him and Josh Allen to sit there and talk about it and be like, hey, how did you get through it? Like, what did you do to get to where you are? So yeah, it's awesome. And I'm glad that Trey accepted the invite and that he's going to be able to go to tight end you. I think this is great news.
Yep, I agree. How about them Niners born in 94? Woo!
I was sophomore in high school, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate you, chat. As always, you guys are the best. Sin says her son will be 39 this year.
Okay, Sin. Okay,
she's
Sin.
Still looking beautiful as ever.
Yep, still looking young. Yep, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That sucks. Born in 94, that means you've never seen a Super Bowl win.
Oh, no.
Dang, yeah, that sucks. But
Gotta
it's
get
coming,
one.
though. It's coming, though.
Same to you, Christy. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Everybody that came through, everybody that comes through later and watches. We appreciate you guys. And yeah, glad that, me and TL just wanted to have an episode where we could just catch up with y'all. The next couple of weeks, we're going to try to get some guests on and do some more shows with guests. But for every couple shows that we have with a guest, we'll do a show, where we can just catch up with you guys. So yeah.
Cool. Sounds good.
That's how we'll do it. Hey, David, good to see you. We're getting out of here.
All right, fam. You guys all take care. Have a good night.
All right, fam. We'll see you. I'll see you. Probably I'll be back Saturday for afternoon quickie. We'll see. See how I'm feeling.
That makes me laugh every time I hear it. Afternoon quickie.
All right, fam. Take care, everybody. Be safe out there.